Hey guys, welcome back to Truckin' TV. I haven't made an appearance in a video in quite a while. I've been out in Missouri, as you guys know. Finally back here for Christmas break and decided to do a little review here today. As you can see, we've got two guns here set up, my Ruger Precision and 22 Magnum, and then I've got the Ruger American Ranch and 223. So the 223 today, we're going to basically try out a new ammunition that Eric kind of told me about actually. He tried it in the Kel-Tec and it shot pretty good. It is the Ammo Incorporated 60 grain VMAX, and supposedly this stuff is pretty much like a hand load here, more or less from the factory. You can see that the brass is pretty nice. It's all annealed. It's got a gold primer in it, which kind of alludes to me that, you know, it might be a Winchester primer or something like that. So I'm not quite sure what that is, but we're just going to test it out here. This gun is currently sighted in for a hand-loaded Speer 55 grain soft point that we've been really pleased with. I've shot several critters with it and it does a number on them, and they shot really good group-wise too. So it ought to be pretty well on paper, but we're just going to try the accuracy with this. We won't change the scope at all probably, but I bought 40 rounds of it, and if it shoots really good, I'll probably buy a whole crap load of it, because I got an AR here out in Missouri actually that I'll use this for too, because I really don't want a hand load for that thing. Well, we're going to test that today, and then I'm going to show you guys the new setup and kind of my final setup here for the Ruger Precision and the 22 mag. We've got a Weaver scope on it that my dad actually gave to me, and it's got a super micro little 1/8 dot on it. And I mean, we've been punching holes in paper here all day long, and it's just super tight with that CCI ammunition. So we're going to try it out here today, and then I think Eric's probably going to shoot his Marlin 22 mag over there too to kind of compare the two. So we're going to do a little head-to-head test 22 mag and then test out this 223. All right, guys, we're going to do a little test here. Again, we're shooting the CCI Maxi Mag, and I like to buy these big old bulk packs here. They're only like 45 bucks or 50 bucks for 200 rounds, so really good value. The only issue with these is they're all loose in there. They're in the little sleeves, but they're not like in a container like the normal little CCI or Winchester mags come in or whatever. But these things shoot incredibly well, and we're going to prove it to you right now. So go ahead and watch this and check it out. Well, I guess that's the last one.
What was a 9-shot group, right?
Yeah, nine shot group there. I just bought this 9-shot mag. The 15 rounder that the Ruger, comes with from the box. I don't like it. As you can see here, it basically would come down and hit right here, or hit my bench if I didn't have my front end or my rear end raised up enough. So I went and spent the 22 bucks on the 9-shot mag, or 9-shot mag rather. And that thing's been around for ages, since the Ruger kind of came out with their 22 mag. I think it's the same magazine they've been having for years. So I think we got one little, well, not little, but about the size of a dime down there. All 9 shots in the same hole, essentially. So let's go in there and check that out.
Good.
All right, guys, as you can see here, Mo, that piece of tape was smaller than what I thought it was initially in the scope. Eric had a piece of tape up here for me to aim at, and I got the gun hitting about 1/2 inch high at 50, so I can pretty much close it at 100. But I was aiming here, and right there's all 9 shots in that little hole. I mean, it's the size of my pointer fingernail, basically. So
That's awesome.
super duper tiny. That's 9 shots, guys. And again, the only thing I've done to this gun was modify the trigger spring to lower it down a little bit. Basically swapped out the springs on it, and that's it. I've cleaned the barrel, and that's it. This is basically straight off the shelf, essentially what you could expect for a CCI Maxi Mag ammo. So once again, super tiny group. Pretty happy with that one. Eric, where's your group at for your Marlin? Right here?
Right to the right, yep.
So here's Eric's group with the Marlin. Basically the same situation. I think he only shot
5 there.
Yeah, 5 there. So, I mean, pretty much the same deal. 22 mag, man. It's pretty awesome. Fun to shoot, too. 0 recoil, basically. You can get anyone to shoot this type of gun. So, pretty awesome. Alrighty, we got the Ruger American Ranch on the bench here now. I'm going to shoot that Ammo Incorporated 60 grain VMAX now. I'm going to give it a whirl. This is going to be out at 100 yards. There's one little spot there I got to shoot, and hopefully it's within that area. Like I said, we haven't zeroed it for this ammunition. We've zeroed it for the 55 grain hand load, so we're just going to give it a whirl and see where they land. It's fairly clean out there, so we should know right where it goes. So hang tight. We're going to shoot there's a bunch in here, but I don't want to waste them. So we're going to shoot a 5-shot group just to start out with and go from there and maybe have to dial it in. If it's shooting real good, I'll just switch to this stuff.
Garrett shot his 5-shot group with that Ruger. Ended up being kind of a vertical spread. He might have messed that shot up. That was the last one. I decided to take a 5-shot group myself. Ended up tightening it up pretty good. I know all these were right in here, and I know I pulled that last shot. That's one thing about that Ruger American, is just so light that, you know, my crosshairs basically, I was holding right here. It just kept dancing side to side. So one piece of advice I'll give you, if you got a scope with a thick crosshair, sometimes the best thing to do is to cradle the bullseye, because if you bring that scope up, I mean, it pretty much covers up the whole thing. So right there, those 4 shots, I mean, that's for ammo, it's only $12 a box. I mean, you can't really fault that at all. I mean, that's a hell of a good coyote round, woodchucks, whatever you want to shoot with it. So anyway, let's get back to the bench and wrap this up.
All right, so we basically just did a couple groups there. I shot the first group. Eric shot the second group. I really wanted to just kind of see, you know, if there was really any difference between mine and his groups. So it really wasn't too much of a difference, other than the fact that I was holding the gun a little bit different than Eric does. I shoot left-handed, he shoots right-handed. With this thick crosshair, I was aiming directly at the bullseye. He was cradling it. So we kind of tried to show a little, you know, different methods there and whatnot, but the results were essentially still the same. Mine was a little more vertical spread. His was kind of a nice little circle, but again, it wasn't like great groups. But if you can watch this right here, you can kind of see how this gun, it's just so topsy-turvy here in the bench that we have set up. It does not have a flat base on it at all. It's a rounded forend, so it doesn't really grip at all. And the gun, I mean, is super light. It's only a 16-inch barrel. It's real easy to, you know, not shoot a good group with it. Basically, it's a good hunting gun. You know, you could have it in your mule when you're driving around the farm shooting coyotes or something like that, or, you know, a younger kid that wants to get into whitetail hunting with it too. And that's honestly why I built the 55 grain soft point, was so, you know, we could take a youth hunter out there and shoot a whitetail with it, no problem, and put a whitetail down with it. And it's a great gun for that. It's not a bench gun, but obviously we want to try and get the best accuracy out of it that we possibly can. But one thing I definitely want to mention here is the extractor system on this thing. I mean, it's Eric. I caught mine and I set them back here on the bench because I didn't want to get them all muddy. But Eric's like, you know what, I'm gonna test this thing out. And as you can see right here at my feet, he's basically racking it off, and they were dropping probably 3 to 4 feet over here to the right hand side, and they're dumping all right here. So it has 0 extraction issues, and it just throws them out there. So Really good setup. I've never had a failure with this thing as far as, you know, fail to fire or fail to eject or fail to feed for that matter. The system all works really well. And for the amount of money you spend on this, you know, it's very short money compared to a lot of their guns in the market, and it just works. It's a great setup and definitely pleased with it. So once again, I just want to kind of show you guys the little update on the 2 Rugers that I have here. Definitely a fan of the Ruger firearms, and they've really been innovating a lot of stuff lately. So definitely pleased with these 2 purchases, and can't wait to keep shooting them. Thanks for watching, sharing, liking, subscribing. And remember, guys, we do have a Patreon account. We do have exclusive content for our Patreons. So if you ever want to join that, you can sign right up on our Patreon page, Chuckin' TV. Thanks for watching.